Assalamualaikum dear students. जो हमारा लास्ट लेक्चर था दैट वाज द मस्कुलर टिश्यू और उसमें हमने ये देखा था कि मस्कुलर टिश्यू कंसिस्ट ऑफ द थ्री टाइप्स ऑफ द टिश्यूज. नंबर फर्स्ट वन वाज स्मूथ मस्कुलर टिश्यू. Number next was striated muscular tissue, and the third was cardiac muscular tissue. Well, in the previous lecture, we studied about the smooth muscular tissue. Now, in today's topic, we will inshallah study the striated muscular tissue. So, it is the second type of the muscular tissue. That is the striated muscular tissue. So, as you know, that the this striated muscular tissue it comes now. This striated muscular tissue it consists of the cells. Those cells are called as myocytes or also termed as muscle fibers. क्योंकि हमने कल ही स्टडी किया था ये जो मसल सेल्स है these are elongated in nature, thread like and elongated in nature. That is why the muscle cells or myocytes have also been termed as muscle fibers. Now in this case, in case of the muscle fibers or the myocytes of striated muscular tissue, as you know, for example, this is a bundle of muscle, means ये है muscular tissue. अगर यहीं से हम एक muscle cell लेंगे, a muscle cell of striated muscular tissue, it indicates that this muscle fiber or this muscle cell it is elongated but cylindrical in nature. जो smooth muscular टिश्यू में जो सेल थी वो थी elongated but spindle in shape. But in this case, here the muscle cells or the muscle fibers, these are elongated but cylindrical in shape. As well as these are multinucleated. वहां पे uninucleated थे, यहाँ पे multinucleated है. तो here the plasma membrane is called as sarcoplasm, and while as the cytoplasm is termed as sarcoplasm, जो हमने कल स्टडी किया था. Now, within the sarcoplasm of this muscle fiber, there are present some myofibrils. Those myofibrils are striated. Just like here, this is whole cell. ये शाख सेल इस सेल को हम कहते हैं striated muscle fiber. स्ट्रेटेड मसल फाइबर इसलिए कहते हैं क्योंकि यहाँ पे जो साइटोप्लाज्म है, यहाँ पे जो सार्कोप्लाज्म है, देयर आर प्रेजेंट longitudinally arranged striated myofibrils. For example, this is the one myofibril, this is the another myofibril. But ये जो myofibrils है, these are striated. That means यहाँ पे striations है, bands है, dark and clear bands, alternate dark and clear bands. या striations हम इसको कह सकते हैं. Since the myofibrils possesses the striations, possesses the dark and light bands, that is why this type of muscular tissue is termed as striated muscular tissue, because of the presence of these striated myofibrils. और अब ये जो striated myofibrils है, they possess the striations या they possess the dark and clear bands or light bands. This one is a dark band, light band, dark band, light band, dark band, light band, accordingly in this muscle fiber. Now, अगर यही muscle fiber हम zoom out करेंगे, यहां से हम ये एक muscle fiber और एक myofiber zooming करेंगे, तो this one is the light band, this one is the dark band, this one is light band, and this one is the dark band. So that is why इसको हम कहते हैं striated muscle fiber. Now, अब हमें पता चला यहां पे दो बैंड्स है, डार्क बैंड है, लाइट बैंड है, फिर से लाइट बैंड है, फिर से डार्क बैंड है, accordingly. Now, each dark band is also called as A band. Each dark band is termed as A band, while as each light band is also termed as I band. ऐसा क्यों? Because ये जो डार्क बैंड है, ये जो डार्क बैंड है, it refracts the light, polarizes the light differently in different planes. Means it is anisotropic in nature. Means it refracts the light, polarizes the light differently in different planes. That means यहाँ पे refraction होती है, but differently. That means it is anisotropic in nature. So that is why इसको हम कह सकते हैं a band, because it is anisotropic in nature. This dark band is anisotropic in nature. Whereas the light band, it is also termed as I band. Light band is also termed as I band. I band इसलिए because it is isotropic in nature. It is isotropic in nature. उसका मतलब हुआ it refracts the light uniformly in all planes. तो ये isotropic है, that is why इसको हम कह सकते हैं I band. ये anisotropic है, that is why the dark band is termed as A band. So this one is dark band, also termed as A band, and this one is the I band, also termed as this is the light band, also termed as I band. तो यहाँ पे light band है, dark band है, light band है, dark band है, according. So that is why यहाँ पे striations है या band से alternate dark and light bands है. That is why इसको हम कहते हैं striated muscular tissue. Now, moving towards this dark band, each dark band or each A band possesses a slight darker region in the mid. That region is termed as, or that zone is termed as H zone. क्योंकि ये साइंटिस्ट ने डिस्कवर किया था, उसका नाम था हैंसन. That is why इस जोन को हम कहते हैं H zone. That means ये जो dark band है, each dark band possesses slight darker region in the mid. That slight darker region is termed as H zone. H zone इसलिए because this was discovered by or observed by the Hansen. That is why the H zone or Hansen zone. Now, each light band, also termed as I band, in the mid of the I band, there is a thick line, there is a dark line. That line, dark line is termed as Z line. तो ये dark light band है, इसके मिड में dark line है, उस line को हम कह सकते हैं Z line. Likewise, ये भी है light region और light band, इसके मिड में भी है thin thick line. That line is termed as Z line. क्योंकि Z का मतलब है Zwischen-Shibi. Zwischen-Shibi was the scientist who observed this thick line in the mid of the each I band. That is why this line is termed as Z line. Now, the portion between the two Z lines, this portion, ये वाला portion और ये वाला, यहां तक, the portion between the two Z lines, अगर हम इसको zoom out करेंगे तो ये ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर हमें दिखाएगा. So that means if this is Z line or this is Z line, ये हमने zoom किया, ये हमने यहां से zoom किया, the portion between the two Z lines, the portion between the two Z lines is termed as sarcomere. Sarcomere यहाँ का मतलब है the portion between the two Z lines, and it acts as a contractile apparatus or the contractile unit. And this is sarcomere on the either sides consists of the Z lines. हमने देखा. Now, a sarcomere possesses two types of myofilaments. Primary myofilaments and the secondary myofilaments. ये है primary myofilaments और ये वाले हैं secondary myofilaments. अब ये जो primary myofilaments है, these are long as well as thicker as compared to the secondary myofilaments, which are narrow as well as short in size as compared to the primary myofilaments. And ये जो primary myofilaments है, these are made of a protein that's termed as myosin protein. That is why the primary myofilaments have also been termed as myosin filaments. Whilst on the other hand, ये जो secondary filaments है, these are made of a protein called as actin protein. That is why the secondary myofilaments have also been termed as actin myofilaments. और ये जो actin myofilaments है या secondary myofilaments है, on one side, these are attached with the Z line, while as the other side, it is free. However, on the as compared to the primary myofilaments, these are not attached to any thread or any line. These are open and is present in between the two secondary myofilaments. Means ये बीच में आ जाते हैं. And these primary myofilaments, they bears the cross bridges. कुछ branches यहाँ से निकलते हैं. उन branches को हम कहते हैं cross bridges. And the tip of the each cross bridge is swollen and possess an enzyme that's called as ATPase, which provide the energy during the contraction of this muscle, of the sarcomere. Now, how this contraction and the relaxation occurs? It is because of the sliding of. This myosin filaments upon the actin filaments upon the myosin filaments. Just like these. For example, these are the actin filaments. These are the myosin filaments. So this slides inwards. During the contraction, this slides inwards over the cross bridges. तब जाके ये जो sarcomere it shortens. Means it close even. Yim secondary filaments, actin filament. Tim se slide over gasan. Ye gasan slide yet patterns. Ye gasan slide yet patterns. Means both the secondary myofilaments. This slides over the primary or myosin filaments upon the cross bridges. तो ये इस तरह आ जाते हैं. They slides inwards during the contraction upon the cross bridges. And during their contraction, the sarcomere decreases in size. When the sarcomere decreases in size, so likewise the length of the myofiber decreases. Likewise, the muscle fiber shortens as well as the whole muscle shortens. उसी को हम कहते हैं contraction. Means during contraction, the secondary filament they slides over the myosin filaments, and this contraction is an active process, and for which energy is required, and that energy is produced by the heads of the cross bridges, which possess the ATPase. That ATPase neutralizes ATP to generate the energy, and that energy is utilized in the contraction, in the shortening of the muscle. So that means contraction is an active process. And after the contraction, the sarcomere or these actin filaments, this slides outwards and regains their original shape, and is a passive process. That means relaxation is a passive process. It does not require any energy. During the contraction, this slides inwards, while during the relaxation, the myofilaments they slides outwards. That when sliding occurs inwards, it's called as contraction. When slides occurs outwards, it's called as relaxation. So that means the mechanism of muscle contraction is explained by a theory that's called as sliding filament theory, which was explained by two scientists, A.F. Huxley and the H.F. Huxley, and which states that during the contraction and relaxation, the filaments they slides inwards as well as outwards, which results in the contraction as well as the relaxation. So this was all about the structure as well as the mechanism of this muscle contraction in case of the this striated muscular tissue pause. Now, this striated muscular tissue, it is voluntary in nature. Voluntary का मतलब है it undergoes contraction as well as relaxation upon our will. For example, we can move these limbs. We can move the limbs. We can move our tongue. We can move our neck. We can move our body wall. Because upon these areas, there are present striated muscular tissue. And these muscles are under our control. That means these are voluntary nature. That is why, since this muscular tissue is voluntary in nature, that is why it is also termed as voluntary muscular tissue. Now, in addition to this, the stator muscular tissue or the voluntary muscular tissue, it contracts rapidly but show the fatigue, and its contraction rate is 0.1 second per contraction, means it contracts rapidly but gets fatigued. Means a contraction near about 0.1 second, जो हमने previous lecture में देखा था. In case of smooth muscular tissue, that the contraction rate in the smooth muscular tissue was 3 to 180 seconds per contraction. उसमें rate of contraction slow थी, but that never gets fatigued. But on contrast to that, ये जो stator muscular tissue है, it contracts rapidly at this rate but gets fatigued. Now, this stator muscular tissue, जिसकी occurrence है, it occurs on our skeleton just like upon the bones of our limbs or body wall. जो यहाँ पे body wall है as well as जो हमारे limbs है, upon the bones of our body wall, upon the bones of our बस क्या, this limbs, this stator muscular tissue occurs. So since this stator muscular tissue, it occurs on our skeleton or on our bones, that is why this muscular tissue is also termed as skeletal muscular tissue. But in addition to it, also occurs in our tongue. So that is why ये जो tongue है, ये जो limbs है, these are involuntary in nature. क्योंकि the stator muscular tissue is voluntary in nature. Their contraction and relaxation is under our control. So that is why we can move the limbs, we can move the body wall, as well as we can move our tongue. Because this tissue is voluntary in nature and it is under our control. And with this, we have completed this stator muscular tissue. और ये जो टॉपिक है stator muscular tissue, it's a very important topic so far the NEET is concerned. तो आई होप आप लोगों ने अच्छे से सिलेबस क्या समझा होगा. Inshallah, in the next lecture we will discuss the cardiac muscular tissue, which is the last type of the muscular tissue. Till then, goodbye and God bless.